know, I just happened to listen to an interview that some guy had with Charleston White. And I sit up here and just stomach listening to Charleston White. It's already enough that you got to listen to its southern accent, which is atrocious. But I sit up here and listen to him for a long time, trying to make sense of why he think, the way he think about black people. And primarily is you listen to him so much, he says he ashamed of being black. So this dude asked him all these questions, but nobody never gave a cause to, a response to all his accusations. He sounds basically, if he wasn't black, he'll sound like a white supremacist. You dig? So he don't never think about a lot of shit, the cause and effect on why the black community the way it is, why black people are like that. He never gave a reason why. He just come out and said no rebuttals, no nothing. So I said I noticed that they don't put him with somebody that can argue and debate him on all this shit and literally destroy him. And due to the fact that they just put this man up here with nobody to challenge anything he's saying, no rebuttals, they just put him up here basically as a mouthpiece for white supremacy. Like if though white people don't do crime. Because that's basically, he sound like goddamn Uncle Ruckus. So I'm gonna say this about all the shit that he said, and I'm gonna have a rebuttal for everything. And damn it, I had to go Sarge Willie P style on him. First of all, you want to look at why black people doing crimes. Most of the crimes they do due to the lack of resources and economic development in the black community. When you have people living in prolonged exposure to poverty, what you gonna have out of it? You got black people getting gerrymandered, red line, and all the shit that come with classical white supremacy. And what's gonna happen? You're gonna have people gonna turn to crime. The sad thing is, yes, they do cannibal in that system. Most people cannibalize one another due to the lack of resources. Those in certain neighborhoods want to protect. Like for instance, you got what you call sets, hoods. So most guys if you ain't from the hood, they want to protect their hood. Unfortunately, it get violent. Unfortunately, it get violent. However, he never points out this is due to lack of resources in the black community. When you don't have you got people exposed to prolonged exposure to poverty, what's gonna happen? They're gonna turn to crime. When you get people that redline in the bank, yeah, sure, you have some exceptions to the rules. No doubt about it, you have thriving black communities. No doubt about it, you have that. But the vast majority of people are poor in the black community. So when you got people that are poor, they're gonna do whatever it takes to survive, whether it be drug dealing, robbery, carjacking. This shit gonna go down in the community that's in poverty, right? Now I'm gonna show you a prime example of this shit. David Chappelle. Just when he did the reparation skit where all the black people got reparations, they got resources, they got money. And what happened? You give people resources and money, what's gonna happen? Crime go down. Crime go down. All kind of shit due to people having resources. Because everybody got resources. Ain't no need for nobody robbing each other because everybody got money. See what I mean? When you have people that are in poverty, they're gonna cannibalize one another. But if they don't have if they have money and resources and gainful employment where they can get a job, crime go down in those communities. That's a simple fact. So you point that out due to most of the crimes that black people are are doing are mostly due to the lack of resources. That's how you get the narco drug trade. That's how you get all that shit in the black community, which he never points out, because Charleston White is never gonna point that shit out. Now, I don't know if he know or not, that's the reason why, but I'm pretty sure he knows. However, when you listen to his talking points, all his talking points can be destroyed, because he sounds just like a white supremacist sounds when they think black people just commit shit out the commit crimes out the void. Like, there's, you know, when you got a community that's impoverished, you're gonna have crimes, or you're gonna have more women getting abused in those communities. You're gonna have children getting abused in those communities due to the lack of a structure. That come from object exposure to poverty. And then you got to go back even further and look why you got a systematic system of poverty, because that was meant for them to be in poverty by them not giving them resources. See what I mean? When people don't have money, people turn to crime. When people turn to crime, protect what they have, no matter if it's a block, they go defend their block. People go get killed, they go cannibalize one another. That's just common sense. Anybody can get, any community can get like that. In that case, I wonder, did you have Italians during the 30s when there was a lot of drug warfare in New York, Chicago, due to, you know, Italians being in a small area, and they was competing with other what? They was competing with other motherfucking families. So what happened? Those families said, you run this block, that's your block, this my block. Don't come over here or you gonna fucking get whacked. Same thing with the drug cartels. That's why you had St. Valentine's Day massacre, all that shit. But did you have any Italians coming out saying anything about the shit, talking about their own people in their community? No, they didn't. They kept that shit to themselves. So when you look at this, the shit that Charleston White says, I mean, he act like this shit is out of the void. Like black people just intrinsically like that, when it's not true. You see what I'm saying? He don't give a culprit for why. He just say, you know, black people do this thing, and I'm ashamed of being black, and sometimes I'm ashamed of being black. I'm not ashamed of being black. I say it's funny that and this how he makes his money, by going saying outlandish shit, and they putting them on podcasts. If you saying negative shit about black people, that's the biggest goddamn, you get the biggest goddamn reward ever, and they will pay you to be on their platform, basically to sell this whole idea that the whole black community like this. So when you got Charleston White talking like this, what they gonna think about vast majority of black people doing crime? Like I'm out here robbing motherfuckers, or other brothers out here and sisters out here that work every day, we out here doing crime. And I guess Charleston White don't understand the kind of bullshit he doing is dangerous. He don't understand the bullshit he's dangerous because he's too ignorant to understand the shit that he's saying and doing. That's gonna come back on everybody who's not doing that shit. Which we already, black people only make up motherfucking 30% of the crime in the black community. So majority of people are not doing crime in the black community. You only have a handful of people doing crime in the black community. Majority of the people in the black community go to work and do what they're supposed to do, go home, go to work. You do have people that have families, even if they're single mamas. You got people that actually have families. So what Charleston White saying is making it look like everybody in the black community doing crime, everybody doing this, everybody doing that, and I'm ashamed of being black because these niggas doing this, these niggas doing that. He ain't even calling out the positive shit that's going on in the black community. He just all out negative shit, and this what Charleston White is put up there for, and that's dangerous. The shit he doing is dangerous. And motherfuckers don't know the shit he doing is dangerous, and ain't nobody to tell him the shit he's saying and doing is fucking dangerous. The shit that Charleston White is doing is dangerous, because he basically said you got people thinking that the whole black community is dangerous. Everybody's dangerous. Everybody's some criminals. Everybody's some thugs. And you got Charleston White The same nigga back in the day who partaken in all that shit, which he said he has. He making it look like every black person is a potential gang member. You dig? This is somebody who lays up with Mexicans and don't say nothing about the crime, the criminality that goes on in the Mexican community. Don't say nothing about that. But he want to say shit about the whole, like, everybody Bloods and Crips and shit. All the black people Bloods and Crips. This is a completely ignorant ass dude that don't know shit. And I just hope he finds somebody that can basically destroy all his arguments just so he can shut up. Because, I mean, the shit that he's doing is dangerous. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. The shit he's doing is dangerous.